Hello, welcome sa Bizanalay.
Welcome to Gekura.
Astagura.
So my name is Rupi.
My name is Samriddhi.
My name is Apekshya.
This podcast was created by the Nemaste Team to tell our stories and talk about the universal and relatable experiences that we all share as Nepali youths living abroad.
So I'm kind of a new face here, so I'm just going to intro myself for a sec here before we move on. My name is Apekshya. I am 16. I was born in Nepal. I moved from Nepal. And I don't know what else to say about myself. I'm not that interesting of a person, so there's not a lot to say. Yeah, moving on.
No, Apekshya. In our team, you count as 3 people.
Yes, Apekshya.
Right. I do.
Okay. Well, anyways, you can check out our podcast on our YouTube channel as well as our Spotify. Episodes are released bi-weekly on Fridays.
Astagura.
Imposter syndrome.
Big topic.
It's a very big topic.
Yeah. Okay, but I feel like imposter syndrome is kind of broad, That could mean a lot of things. So specifically, we're kind of going to talk about our experiences by being Nepali youth living in Canada and how that would differentiate from if we lived in Nepal. And I guess it's kind of cheesy, but the Nepali identity in Canada.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we touched a little bit on this in our first episode, but we wanted to kind of go more in detail because there's a lot that we feel as people that grew up here instead.
Okay, so I guess one of the big questions is, do you guys feel imposter syndrome right now? Like, just casually?
Okay. The thing is, I feel like just in general, our whole platform is somewhat a way to make up for said imposter syndrome, But at the same time, I feel like it kind of really highlights the differences too. If we were in Nepal, you don't really have to go out of your way to come up with a whole organization in order to learn more about yourself because you're already in the environment to do that, right? But here we have to put in legitimate effort to learn about our origin.
Yeah. And for me, it's when I go to Nepal, I feel more of that difference, or when someone from Nepal directly comes here, because it's kind of just screaming, hey, this is what real Nepali should look like. But in honesty, just because we're here, things are different, and that's okay. But we still feel a lot of feelings.
I don't know. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if it's just me, but do you guys, when you go in Nepal, I almost get embarrassed to start speaking Nepali because I'm oh, I sound so bad compared to them. They don't need to hear it. That's embarrassing. And my Nepali truthfully isn't that horrible, but just being in that situation is so nerve-wracking. But sometimes I think about it. Are they embarrassed to speak English to me? I don't know. I don't think they are. So I don't know how one-sided this feeling is.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Going back, I feel like my Nepali in the beginning gets worse somehow. Here is fine, right? But then going there and then being oh, I'm a foreigner now, and then I think automatically, subconsciously, my Nepali just gets worse, and I have an accent in the beginning, and I can hear myself talking. I'm what am I saying? But yeah, I think over time, just staying in Nepal, it gets better. But yeah, I've definitely felt going back, it's just oh, I feel like I should just just be in the corner, not say anything. Because like me, people
Yeah.
might be like, "Oh, she's like from outside, and she thinks she's all that." You know what I mean? I
Like let my
sometimes,
Yeah.
parents do the talking
yeah, yeah.
for me kind of thing. No, there was this funny instance where I was talking to one of my like chulobabas, and I don't know, I think he was talking asking me what grade I was in, and I said it in Nepali at first, right? And I don't know why. Like, no, I said it in English first. And then later, like, he didn't hear me. So I was just repeating myself. And I wasn't thinking about, like, did he understand me or not? Because I know he understands English. But I just said it in Nepali for some reason. And then he heard me. And then somebody else was like, he understands Angrezi. It's okay. You don't need to talk in Nepali. And I was like,
Oh, I think I've had that like similar experience too, where I said something in English and then I was trying to think of it in Nepali, and they're like, "Oh, it's okay, we understand." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't mean to offend you." You know what I mean?
yeah.
I've had like the opposite instance happen as well. Like I'll speak Nepali, but then they'll start speaking English, and I'm like, I know
Oh,
what you're
Oh.
saying. Like I understand. Like I didn't move to Canada. I just never hear Nepali again in my life. You know, like I was there. And another thing I noticed is like, okay, when we go to Nepal in public, I think my parents always like don't say anything. They're gonna charge us extra if they know we're foreigners. Like if you're in a
That's
taxi. And, like if you start speaking, they're gonna know we're like not from. Well, we are from here, but like we don't live here, right? So
yeah.
don't speak. Just stay quiet.
Oh my God. So my brother, he doesn't really like we speak English with him, right? And so when we go back to Nepal, whenever we're in a taxi to speaking to my brother, we have to use English, right? And every single time the taxi driver's like, "Oh, tapariya na." And we're like,
true.
"Oh no."
Because they charge extra. They literally charge extra if they know you're not from here.
Yeah, I mean, if you go into like the stores and the markets, we're in for a fight. So if you're going to Nepal, get your inner
Nepali out.
Nepali out. Actually, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's true.
Your inner Gorkha, your your fighter in you.
With your what's it called?
Kukri?
Yes,
Your
with your
what?
Kukri,
with your
kukri.
gurudi.
Your
Gurudi.
cookie. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Guys, we need to cut that part out. Make sure that's embarrassing.
No, I'm
Okay.
keeping that. I'm keeping that in. Um,
You gotta put like the little loading symbol there while we're trying to think about it.
True identity crisis. No,
yeah, yeah.
true. Okay.
Oh, okay. Another thing I've noticed is like in Nepal, there's like this really big sense of family, you know?
Hmm.
Like, not even just like, ah, I heard of my family, but they're literally always together. Like, literally, they're like glued together or something. They're attached by the hip. Like, they're besties since birth. Like, but like here, I don't know about you, but I don't have any Nepali relatives here, at least not like close. So I've never been as like connected to my relatives, I would say, as they
Hmm.
have over there. And like sometimes I feel that difference because every once in a while they pull up their Facebook photo and they're all wearing matching t-shirts, and I'm like, that's cringy, but I want to wear matching t-shirts. I want to be in the cult, you know?
I
Yeah.
kind of talked about this in the first episode, but back when I lived in Nepal, so I was in Nepal until I was like 5. We lived with my dad's side of the family, right? So my grandparents and my dad's brother and my cousins and stuff. So yeah, I feel like in Nepal, it's like especially like you live with all of your family, right? Like your immediate family. And yeah, I was really close with my cousins as a child too. But I get what you mean, Apekshya, because on Facebook, every couple of like months, I see them going on a resort vacation for like something in Nepal, and I was like, damn, I want to go too.
But Rupi, I
And
think isn't it a little bit different for you since I mean you have family here,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I do have my like mama and maizu, like actual mama and maizu here, so it's nice. We still get that family bonding. But yeah, definitely they weren't here before. So before, oh, I think the nice thing is that you like make like just like all the Nepali community your family. You know, you make your own
Hmm.
like found family almost, and I think it's really cute.
Hmm.
yeah, you like, I feel like that's another thing just here. I know in Nepal there's like a distinguishment of people just by like family and things like that, but here, since there's such little numbers of people, you kind of just bond with them because they're Nepali, you know?
Yeah.
Like that shared experience counts for something to be friends with them for.
That's
And
definitely
yeah,
true.
I wouldn't even say just like being Nepali, like just being like if I see another brown person, I'm like, you're one of me.
Or
Like come on
family.
over. You're yeah, we're like you get it, you know? So I feel like that is one good thing. You just get a more globalized perspective, I guess, by moving here.
I think that's also important in our group in Nemaste because, like, we're all different ages. And usually, like, generally, I don't know, I feel like we kind of hang out in our age groups, right? But because it's so nice to have other people that are also Nepali in Canada, and you know that their Nepali is not like top, like not like that, but you just have shared experiences, and that in like in itself is very nice to hang on to, even though we have maybe nothing else in common.
Yeah, like just the idea that, you know, we're similar in the sense that we are Nepali, but we didn't grow up in Nepal, like in terms of our like actual comprehension of the language and of even like in terms of religion, I guess, because how connected you are to like Hinduism or whatever. And we're totally different people, like outside the Nepali circle. But like I think the fact that the Nepali circle is there to begin with accounts for a lot.
On the topic of like not just religion, but just even our own cultures, because in Nepal we have different cultures. Like we're Newari, some of us are Newari, some of us are Balanchitri, right? How hard or difficult is it for you to connect to that aspect of your Nepaliness, I suppose?
Um, Rupi, do you want to talk to?
Okay. So yeah, I'm Newari, and um, here in Edmonton we have like a Newari um, society. I don't wait, yeah, it's a society, like a group of like a community, a Newari community, and like I've done like Newari dancing since I was little, and also I know Newari with because of my grandparents like learning it growing up. So connecting to that aspect, it's not really hard. The thing I'm really sad about is like I don't really have a lot of Newari friends besides like Samriti. Like I want to get to like I want to tap into that more, you know? I want to like learn Newari more and speak Newari more. But yeah, I don't think I have that hard of a time connecting with that part.
I'm like very generally Nepali. Like I am not any ethnic group whatsoever. I am just Nepali. I'm just there. I guess I'm bound, but that's caste system, and caste system's kind of messed up, and that we never really, at least growing up, my family didn't really like engage in it, I want to say. So I don't think there's any like specifically bound traditions either besides eat your vegetables. Like I so that was never really a thing. So I've never been like I know you guys your Toilet is like a very Newari thing. I'm not Newari, but I love toilet. Like it's my favorite thing. So I guess there's that.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I'd say the same, in the sense that I am from a Newari family, but because my parents didn't really delve in it in their childhood either, I don't know the language, so I just have Rupi teaching me bits and bobs here and there when I can. I also grew up in this community, so I did like I don't know. I learned a couple of words, guys. I learned like Mika is eyes, and I know Swa is flower because all of the dances have eyes and flowers. So-
Yeah. Also, I just remembered, it's kind of a funny thing. So we went to Vancouver for something. We were at like a Nepali party, right? And so the kids there, um, it was so interesting. They did not know Nepali, but they knew fluent Newari. Okay.
oh,
Well, it's actually called Nepal Bhasa, so don't want to get canceled over this. It's Nepal Bhasa, the technical term. But yeah, they knew it fluently, but they didn't know Nepali at all. They couldn't speak it at all. I was like, that's really interesting, you know? Like they knew like so well. And I was like, whoa, that's like a whole different like environment that you grew up in, you know?
That's so cool. I always thought that, well, I truly don't know still. Like, I thought if you knew, like, Newari or Nepal Bhasa, that you knew Nepali kind of thing. But I guess
Are they
in
similar? Like, is Napoleon new one
No, it's
similar? Oh,
they have, like,
completely
a
different.
whole different tone.
Yeah, and this like a
mm,
whole um uh I forgot the name of it, but the lettering or like the writing is also
the
different.
characters?
Yeah, yeah. It's not based off of Sanskrit, I don't think. Oh,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know for sure, but when I was like my grandpa, whenever he's writing stuff, it's kind of different than like Nepali.
Hmm. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Okay. Um, I don't know.
oh, okay. I wrote one topic that I don't know if it connects directly to this, but I think it's like the idea of since we're in a multicultural country and we're not home where there's like a concentrated amount of Nepali people, it's really easy to confuse our culture with like other cultures. Like, I think
Mhm.
Arnima, she's another member of our thing, but she was talking about how she went to this Nepali festival. Not, I think it was like a dance thing, and then there was some white guy there, and he just assumed that she was Indian because she was dancing. She's South Asian, and then
Yeah, yeah.
like, and like, I think for like for us, um, there's definitely a lot more like Pakistani or Indian or Bengali people, um, here, you know?
Mhm.
So it's really easy to confuse yourself with them. Like there's the obvious commonness that we're all South Asian, and obviously that comes with its own like similarities.
Mhm.
But identifying what is distinctly Nepali can be kind of difficult. Like, I don't think Lengas are Nepali. They're like Indian, I think. Don't cancel me if I'm wrong. But I think so. And like that's something that we use, right? But that's not something that's technically like our culture. Like that's something that we learned from other cultures. And then um even like our food, you know? Like butter chicken isn't Nepali. Sil roti is Nepali. But it's like kind of since we're here and we're not in Nepal, there's you kind of blend in
Yeah.
with the people around you.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, because at my school there's a really large brown population, it's it's a yeah, it kind of blends in a way because and there's no identifying factor per se because we all want to like be together. We want
Mhm.
to hype ourselves up, but we also don't have the opportunity to kind of learn about each other to the specific like to that specific extent. Like did you guys have when you were little and you would be like, "Oh, I'm from Nepal," right? And then people would be like, "Oh yeah, that's in India, right?"
Mm.
Right? Things like that.
Oh my gosh, you just brought up a really, really okay. In junior high, there was one kid. He was he was like every single time I saw him, he's like, "You're Nepali. Nepal was a part of India." And I would be like, "No." And he'd be like, "Yes." I was so it was so annoying. He's like, "You were Indian once." I was like, "What are you trying to say?" Um, but yeah, in junior high, it was like the my junior high that I went to, it was like 90% brown, and it was like a lot of like Pakistani, and it was majority Pakistani, and there's like a couple of Indian and like different types of brown, right? So yeah, it was. I was the only Nepali kid, and then another Nepali kid joined. So I definitely get the like everything just blending in together. Because I would back then I would just be like, oh yeah, they see things, like talking about something brown related, be like, oh ha ha ha, we're so brown, or like we're so daisy. So like there was nothing be like, oh, like Nepali, you know, like connecting to you're like, oh haha, Nepali things. But yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm very different than both of you in the sense that I like don't think I've ever gone to a school that just has a really, really large brown population. It's mostly like white people. Like
Mhm.
the school I go to, it's mostly white people. And but like I think it still works in the same way that since there's so few brown people, you just clump up together because you like need to have your shared identity in order to even be a representation. Like I'm pretty sure I'm the only Nepali person that goes to my school. And like in my grade, I only know like two or three other brown people,
Mm,
like out of all of us. And so
okay.
you don't really get the chance to distinguish yourself just because you need to like being brown itself is like a rare occurrence. So being Nepali on top of that, that's a whole other thing, you know? So like I don't know. I never like I have brown friends, but I've never made brown friends from school. Like they've
Mm.
always been like outside of school or like um Nepali people, you know?
I
I
think
yeah.
I think Canada in general, because it is such a multicultural country, there's you kind of just want to be with the people that are similar to you, so that
Mhm.
you can get your voices heard. Because it's like a big thing here, right? Like we want a representation kind of thing. So
Also the term brown, I feel like because Nepal is really interesting, just the fact that we're right between India and China, right? And
true. That's
so
true.
like Nepali people can look a lot of different ways. Like we can look like go from one spectrum to the other, and then we can
Mm-hmm.
still be Nepali, right? And so I think like the term brown, I think as also as a child, I was like completely like, oh, I am like brown as in South Asian, like India, Nepal, Pakistan, yes. That is the whole like group I am associating myself with, right? But then I just realized like it was so funny. I met or I didn't meet someone, but I saw online it was a Nepali person, like a family friend, and they identified themselves as East Asian. I was like, whoa, like this is so interesting. Like, what is Nepal? You know, like it could be East Asian, it could
Mhm.
be South Asian too. We're just like right in the middle, so you know.
Wow. Even it's not even just us that has the identity crisis. It's literally just Nepal trying to fit in to the world stereotypes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like I I think most of the people in our organization, just culturally, but also like appearance wise, were a lot more like South Asian tending than East Asian. But I know
Yeah.
like in Nepal, if you go further up north, it's like closer to China, so the culture and the appearances more so resembles China. But like
Mm.
I think that's really interesting because I've literally been told before, "Oh, you're Nepali? You don't look Nepali." And I'm like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
"Wow."
my mom, she's more fair skinned. Um, so I don't know. People don't think she's from Nepal. Like they think I don't know. She came from Mongolia or something. That's what I've heard a lot. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting.
I think like I it's mostly I hear from South Asian people, not so like other people because other people don't really know where Nepal is to begin with.
That's true.
But
That's
like,
true.
so but like yeah, I think Nepal just in general, I don't like from my experience, I don't know if this is a reflection of everybody, but just appearance wise, we're more so like people assume our appearance is somewhere in between of South Asian and East Asian. Like maybe you have similar features to both, but like for me, I think I distinctively look South Asian. So people assume I'm Indian more than I'm Nepali, which I guess that's in part just because nobody knows where Nepal is. But like, um, I think it really changes depending on the person.
Okay, so I actually have a funny story based off of that because people assume like I'm Filipino a lot. So in junior high, there used to be like this other junior high pretty close by. It was like majority Filipino, and so our I was walking out of school one day, and my janitor he was like, "Are you Filipino?" And then he started speaking Tagalog, and that's yes. And then I was like, "Oh no, I'm not Filipino." And then he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he like, and then I walked away, and I'm like, "Damn!" Like I just assumed people would assume Like I was like brown, you know? But I guess I don't look that brown. Or then my like other people also confuse my parents as like Mexican. Like we've gotten that a lot,
Mm.
especially when we go to like America, because there's like a really big population, right? So everyone confuses my parents as Mexican. So it's kind of
I
interesting.
mostly get like Indian, and then I'm like, I'm not Indian. Then they get confused because I think they just assume India comes from like all of South Asia. So they get confused and they're like, "Oh, are you Arab?" And I'm like, "I'm not Arab." "Are you South American?" "I'm not South American." "Where are you from?" "I'm from Nepal." That's the same thing as India. Like I just don't think they like understand India is not everything. You know, there's like
I've
other places too.
I've heard this really interesting iteration from some people. They've said that my mom is like an East Asian who married an Indian guy. That's what they think sometimes, and it's really funny to me.
Okay, I have this distinct memory of junior high around Rupi. But there was this guy in my class, and the first thing he ever said to me was he was like, "Hey, I'm 0.002% East Indian," and I was like, "That's great. What do I do with this information? Like, what am I supposed to say to that?" And I was like, "That's really cool." And I'm from Nepal. And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Do you know where Mount Everest is?" And he's like, "Yeah, Mount Everest. I know where that is." I was like, "Yeah, it's in Mount Everest. I mean, it's in Nepal, and I'm from Nepal." And he's like, "Oh, so could you see Mount Everest from your backyard?" When you live there? And I'm like, "No, I couldn't." And he's like, "What about your front yard?"
You should have said
And I
yes.
was like,
You should have said
honestly, I
yes.
should have, but I was like, no, not everybody has Mount Everest in their backyard. Like that's
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
funny.
that's small, but not that small, you know? Like you don't just see Mount Everest from your backyard every single day.
Yeah.
You know, although there are a lot of assumptions here and there, um, that's kind of what makes us unique in a sense that we even experience these
Mm-hmm.
situations. So I think it's good fun. It's so much fun talking about it, actually.
No.
Yeah, I had a couple of teachers. Well, they weren't teachers. They were just like staff members in high school. They were like, wow, your English is so good. I had never, I've only heard of that stuff, right? I had never
Here,
experienced that. And then they're like, wow,
wait.
your English is so good. Where are you from? And I was like, no, well, I came from Nepal, but I grew up here. And like, wow. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? You know, like even in Nepal, I spoke like English. Like, I don't think there's like a connection there.
In our high school?
Yeah, in our high school.
You were in high
That's
school like
weird.
a couple years ago too. That's not
Yeah,
like some
yeah,
ancient
no, no,
thing.
no.
That's
Like,
like,
and our high
oh,
school is. No, yeah. Okay. Yeah, our high school is
No,
like.
it was it
It
wasn't
is
main
weird.
stuff. It wasn't main stuff, Samriddhi. It was
Yeah, no, but still.
you also have like
Strange.
a lot of, you said somebody, you said you had like a lot of brown people
oh
at your school too.
We
that
So,
was
went.
a white man.
So,
oh,
okay. So, yeah, no, because
oh,
Rupi and I went to the same high school, and our high school population is mainly, like, not white.
Yeah, it's like
So,
majority Asian, general Asian, not just what people assume is East
yeah.
Asian, just general Asian. Um,
we have like at my high school, it's like predominantly white, just because it's in like a really white area.
Yeah. No,
I only
Apekshya.
went there. Yeah. What?
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna
Oh,
say, like, because in my elementary and junior high, I went to a predominantly white school, and then when I came to high school, I was like, wow.
I know. I like. Okay, I only went to the high school to do like a specific program. I'm an IB, but like, so they didn't have it at the high school that's like in my area, so I had to change schools. And so like it's literally all white people, and then like every once in a while you see a Filipino, every once in a while you see somebody who's Chinese, every once in a while you see somebody, you know. But like it's mostly white people. The high school I was supposed to go to, it's like predominantly brown. Like it's known for being brown. Like you say, hey, what high school do you go to? Oh, you go to this one. Makes sense. You're brown. That's just how that works. But like, I high key regret not going there just because I'm like, my people. I wish to be with you. And so I just like internally really sad because I was like, I could have so many friends, but no, we're here instead.
Well,
Crying.
I'm glad you're here with us, you know?
Yes, I love Nemaste.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I
think
think we can start wrapping this up. It is now, I guess, time for our song of the episode. Apekshya, would you like to introduce our song?
Okay, it's called La 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 remix by the Blues and VTEN. It's like it's a Nepali song. I actually like heard it because one of my friends that's Nepali like gave me a playlist. I'm not that into Nepali music, but they gave me a playlist with like Nepali songs, and I like listened to it because true patriot or whatever. Gotta support the artist. Do what we can. So yeah, it's a good song. It's like somewhat of like a rap song. I want to say it's like I don't know if it's indie. I
R&B.
don't really think it's yeah, R&B ish type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the remix. You can listen to the original, but I like the remix better. So yeah, you should check it out.
All right, let us take a listen.
ला 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 अब म पनि गर्छु मेरा अधुरा सपना पुरा ला 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 अब थाहा हुँदैछ कहाँ जाने भनेर यो हुलमा ला 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 गर्दैमा ला 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 भन्दैमा हुँदैन हो काम पुरा.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Please check out our Instagram page at ni.maste, ne.maste, our website at nemaste.org, and our YouTube channel, as well as our Spotify, both with the names Nemaste, where we will upload our full episodes, and clips will be on Instagram, and other posts, other projects that we have. Yes, it'll be good.
It's
Thank
so
you.
fun having a picture.
It is.
Yeah.
And
Be here from now on, guys.
she's our host, our beloved host. So.
Yes. And we'll have more people on in the future episodes. More hosts from Nemaste, so catch that out.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a fun episode. Good job, guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.